All right. Everybody, thank you so much for coming this afternoon. Today's another very special day. Last night we had the pre-grand opening, and today's the grand opening. And it's so great to see all of you here today because a lot of you are loyal Bruce Lee fans. Am I right? Do you know Bruce Lee, Breaking Barriers? All right. Real quick, I'm originally from Seattle. Some of you may have grown up listening to me on the radio back in the days. My name is Nasty Ness. Anyone know who I am? A lot of people remember me from Sir Mix-a-Lot and the guy who introduced Seattle to hip hop, but I made it to the
Bruce is back for sweatshirts, but at least it's not raining. It's the most important thing. And thank you, Ness, for the introduction. We're part of the Jin Fan Kung Fu Institute. It was started in 1960 by Sijo Bruce. Sifutaki is still there teaching class, and we used to train at the grocery store for many, many years. And then after the grocery store, we moved to Woodinville, and some of us followed him, and we built a barn. And that's basically where we train now. So we're a very simple school. We just do our own thing, and for many years, Sifutaki never collected any dues, never wanted any type of payment. And we run the school the same way as we did many years ago, as like a private school. And if you need to attend or join, you have to be interviewed and ask a lot of questions. And some people don't like the many questions, and some people do. But the people who are willing to ask the questions and make sure there's the right fit, come and train with us. And that's the way Sifutaki ran the school for many years. That's the way we're still operating, like a private school. So we just don't let anybody come in. So these are the guys that have been training, working hard for the past few weeks, preparing for the demo, and we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to do kind of the basics of what we basically train in. So these are the basics we cover in class. Everybody goes in a Mabo stance, which is kind of a horse stance, pigeon hold. And what we're going to do is start off with punches like straight blocks. Okay?
Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We punch with our center line, so we're punching with energy. Rarely do we punch with our arms. We punch with power, and that's basically what we punch in. We'll do the Bugis, and Bugis are eye jabs, and punches went over. Now we're going to go under release, and Bugis has a longer range, a longer striking ability because your fingers are much longer than the palm. So we're going to do Bugis. There you go.
Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Snap it out. Imagine there's an opponent in front of you and you're striking in the eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now we're going to practice our kicks. And our kicks basically is we start out in a wrestling position called the Dingpo position. And if you notice the Dingpo position, this is basically one of our roots for this system is the Wing Chun. And the Wing Chun system basically was started by a nun, a woman. And basically what we do basically is we're always cognizant of the groin. So when we practice our movement, we practice using this Dingpo position. And this Dingpo position is, if you notice, we're protecting the groin, we're protecting our center line because our power, our energy comes from the center line. So we're going to start out with some kicks, and most of our kicks are always midsection or lower. Rarely we do high kicks. We're trying to move very simple, very efficient. Okay, so we're going to do front kicks.
Ready? 1. 2. Ready? 1. 2. Ready? 1. 2. Ready? 1. 2. And you ready? 1. And you 2.
Now we're going to do side kicks.
Ready? You ready? 1. You 2. Ready? 1.
Again, if you notice, we're always protecting the groin. Our knees are always moving it slightly to protect the
You
groin.
make one. Then you make one.
Now we're going to do the hook kicks to the groin.
Make one. Make one. Make one. Make one. Then you make one.
Feet.
So now we're going to do
You can
the double kicks.
Make one.
It's like half a minute.
Make one.
So it's a kick to the shin, to the knee, and then to the groin.
Make one. Then you make one.
Now we're going to do something that we practice in classes called Chi-Sao, which is a sensitivity exercise. And a sensitivity exercise is, there's 4 ranges in combat. There's a kicking range, there's a punching range, and then there's a trapping range. And this is where the Chi-Sao comes in, is in the trapping range, before it takes you into the grappling range. So we practice in our Genko position, and we practice doing the Chi-Sao. And we're going to practice this tight roll, sensitivity, your eyes are on your wrist. Okay? Good night. And it's proper hand positioning, their focus on being light. And remember, the foundation of this was started by a woman, by Wing Chun, so we're very, it's by using the other opponent's energy against them. It's not about strength, it's about being light, being quick, being rapid. And that's the way Shijo Bruce moves, very quick, very rapid. And that's what we try to teach here, what Shikitake teaches here is being light, feeling the other person's energy, focus on the roll, being tight, proper head position. Then we're going to roll for a couple of minutes here.
The guy in the yellow.
I know.
So now we'll do the first entry. Trap.
Ready? Centric. Slow. Break. Centric. Fast.
Now they're doing the second entry with the lob shot.
Ready? Centric. Slow.
Now what you're seeing here is when they're doing the box out, the lob out, it's going to depend on the person's energy. Whatever the energy gives you, if he crosses the center line, that's when you do a pulling head, lob out. When he doesn't cross the center line, you do a box out, which is kind of a slapping hand. It's really difficult to see what they're doing, but there's a lot of intricacies here that you just have to basically touch hands with somebody where you feel what the energy does. And when you're that close, you don't feel, you don't see their hands. You have to feel the hands. Feel what their hands going to do.
Ready? Military. Observe. Fast.
Okay, we'll do the third entry, which is the elbow.
Ready? Military. Elbow. Slow. Ready? Third entry. Elbow.
the fourth entry, which is Jasa, which is kind of the running hand.
Ready? Victory. That's slow.
And again, you're feeling the person's energy. It's really hard to see when you guys are watching in the audience, but you have to feel the person. Because your eyes are on your wrist.
Ready? Victory. That's last.
Now we're going to do something called the four corners. And if you might, if you do the four corners, you can assume that someone basically protect their center line. Our center line, you can dissect someone in the center line. You have four corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can even dissect that further by doing an outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, low, outside, inside, right. So you can dissect the four corners into 8 corners by outside, inside. So what they're going to do is basically, someone's going to strike, and they're going to strike at the outside corner and the inside corner. And they're going to do simultaneous strike and block at the same time. So we're going to start with the outside first. Okay? Left. Now you're going to do inside. And inside is, you're imagining that the strike comes inside and it passes that outside. Okay. Now you're going to do inside. Now we're going to do outside and inside. Rarely do we have a block and a strike. You try to strike and block at the same time. Okay. The whole essence of Jeet Kune Do is way intercepting fists. We try to intercept the opposing strike. Okay? So now we're going to do something which is entries and attack. And what we do is the first thing we're going to go with is the box out. And again, we're in our reference position is Ning Bo stance, which most of your weight in your back leg. And you guys are probably saying to yourself, this is hard to get a move in a real fight. And we'll show you that in the end. But for now, understand that this is the foundation, the core of what we do, which is the Ning Bo stance. And you'll see that later. Okay, so we're going to do the Paksao, which is basically slapping hand.
Ready? Century. Paksao. Slow.
And when we strike, we focus on moving the lead hand first. The trap is never, the lead hand never moves first. It's that telegraph. So we strike first.
Ready? Century. Paksao. Fast.
Okay. Now we're going to do the double Paksao. And again, the double Paksao is done when the person's energy does not cross the center line. And that's why the Paksao is effective. So we do a double Paksao.
Ready? Century. Paksao. Slow.
Just imagine your center line comes from the middle of your body and dissects you. Just imagine that hand, the person's energy never crosses that. That's when you do a Paksao. That's when it's effective. We'll do the Paksao,
Ready?
the Lapsao.
Second entry. Paksao. Double Paksao. Fast.
Now it's going to be Paksao, Lapsao. Lapsao is energy crosses the center line. And when you cross the center line, you can't basically, if that crosses the center line, you can't do a pop like this when he's crossing the center line. You have to pull his hand towards him, and you're using the person's energy against him. That's what we're doing here. It's pop style, lop style.
Ready? Infantry. Slow, slow. Slow. Ready? Infantry. Axel officer. Fast.
Now we're going to do what you call knuckle fist and a back fist. So the first strike is trying to hit the person's rib cage. And this is the foundation of what later on one of the entries to one of the 5 weeks of attack, which is the progressive indirect attack. But this is the core foundation of what we do here.
Ready? Infantry. Triple one Troy. Fast.
Now we need to jaw stop, which is the running hand.
Ready? Infantry. Just slow. Ready? Infantry. Just fast.
So now we're going to basically these guys are going to get we're going to demonstrate some of the 5 ways of attack. There's 5 ways of attack. We're going to focus on the single direct attack first, then we'll go on to different ranges. So there's 5 ways of attack. There's a single direct attack, attack by combination, HIA, and a mobilization attack, or foot mobilization attack, FIA, progressive indirect attack. So there's different attacks, and there's attack by drawing, attack by painting. So you're going to demonstrate some different attacks. Let's move to the center a little bit, guys. Right this way. Okay. So they're going to focus on the single direct attack. But this is their own expression. You guys go ahead. Okay. This is their own expression, basically, is what we're doing. This is just a straight attack, single. Because in a real fight, there's no drills, there's no set motion. It depends on the opponent. Whatever the opponent gives you, you adapt, you move. Your opponent will kind of dictate what you're going to do. But you're still going to fight. You're fighting, but you have to adapt. So what C.J. Bruce said, you be like water. Ready to do attack by combination. So in order to do HIA, hand mobilization attack, okay? Or foot mobilization attack. So this is their own expression, this is their own self-discovery. What we teach them is the Jeet Kune Kung Fu, the basic basics, the foundation of what we do. But how they express it in a real fight, in a real combat, that's their own expression, and that's what they're doing here, is expressing themselves based on what the opponent gives you. And in a sense, that's our own Jeet Kune Do, our own self-expression of what the basics are about. So you see how they're moving in from the kicking range to the punching range, to the trapping range, to the grappling range, and moving back and forth. They're going from stop hit, where you did a stop hit and you stop striking, coming in, intercepting the blows. So they're moving from different ranges and coming out. But the key is to finish the fight quickly. So now we're going to do attack by drawing or attack by feinting. Now we're going to practice going into the kind of grappling a little bit. So let's get the mats out, guys. So that was kind of their own interpretation of what we teach them. It's the basics of the Jing Fan Kung Fu, but they all express it a certain way. Because each person moves differently, because each person has a different body type, they move differently. So how they express themselves in a real combat, in a real fight, depending on their opponents, will depend on that person.
I'm going to sit with Bob in the chair. Oh, that's weird. Okay.
So are you seeing that they're going from kicking range, from punching range, from grappling range? Now they're going to take a step further, go into a little bit of grappling. We're just going to take it down to the grappling range, but we're not going to grapple them. Okay? Good luck. Again, this is our own interpretation. What we like to do in this system is that we like to stay upright. We don't like to go on the ground. So our preference is to use our footwork to move, use our mobility, but to strike for a reason. We strike with a purpose. We move with a purpose. We don't like to waste movement. The key is to try to finish the fight quickly, because the longer the fight lasts, the longer there's a chance that person's going to hit you. Because you can have 30 years of training, and all it takes that one strike and one hit, and you're on down and ground. So anybody can be beaten anytime. So we always stress the importance of finishing the fight quickly and being efficient when you move. But we never like to grapple on the ground because the person will have multiple people around them. He can have friends on the ground. So the last place you want to do is be on the ground. Okay. Good. Take those mats out. I guess we still have enough time, so we're ready to. There's just a few more things to kind of fill the time a little bit that we have. We originally had 8 people to the demo, but one of them got sick, so we're stuck at 6, so we have to we'll add some different stuff to the field plan. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on a sidekick. So it's going to be performed for one of our students, Jeremy. He's going to do a sidekick. From this side, from down side.
Whoa, that's powerful.
We'll do one more time, just Kevin likes it so much. So that's a sidekick using your whole body, your whole body, thrusting in, you're taking constant opponent. And that's what we try to teach. So these guys are going to do kind of a finishing exercise that we do. We're going to punch down the line and do some bridges and some. So you guys will kick right here at the fence. Okay?
Right, go. Right, go. Right, go. Ready, go.
So you notice they're forward that they're moving. If they're moving little steps back and forth, they're using their head, they're not moving up and down, they're using the basic forward that we teach, and you see their back foot is raised a little bit. Because what they're doing now is they're not using this anymore. They're using your basic your boxing forward, defensive. That's what we practice, but everything starts off with this. That's what we teach. It starts out, that's their foundation. But later on, they'll move into more the boxing, more the fencing forward.
Good. Ready, go. Ready, go.
One more time.
Turn. Ready, go. There you go.
Okay. That's good. Good job. So the key what we're trying to do is, these guys are going really fast, is they're doing the single track. So we have some time because we started late, so we're just going to fill up the time a little bit. You can't lose the essence of basically of what we're trying to do here is that we're doing the different movements, but honestly it just comes down to a single strike. So finger track is just this. And you see how I'm trapping the leg? When I trap the leg, when you're in this range, when you're here in this range, you can't see his head. This is where the T-stop comes in. See what he does. You know, see what he does. And that's basically what this T-stop comes in. This takes you in from a single attack, which is just basically all you want to do is just switch it back. Or you do the attack by combination here. Come back here. Or you do progressive indirect attack. Progressive indirect is what we do is launch it like this. We can move. It just comes in straight. Come back here. It just moves directly. So to start off on the basics and the foundation is basically staff. And if you have the HIA, which is the hand mobilization attack, again, I just want to hit him, right? I just want to hit the guy. But if his hand's in the way, then that's my trap. Come next here. Okay? And then we'll actually do whatever I want. Okay? So the thing to realize is you do all these different things, but you want it's simple, simplicity. All you want to do is hit the person. That's it. You only trap for the sake of trapping if that hand's in the way, if that foot's in the way. But you can hit them, and all you want to do is just hit them. Okay? So we're going to bring Sita Kaki up. He's just going to say just a few words.
He makes things up.
So we're going to have Sita Kaki say something, but he doesn't want to say anything. So I think what we'll do is but what he would say, if he was up here, he would say is it's an honor to be here after all these years that we all meet here because of Bruce and of Cedro Bruce. And for Sita Kaki, it's not about, for him, it was his friendship and his loyalty to his best friend. And to this year, he still lives that life of the full of integrity and full of passion. He's 91 years old, but he still comes to class every day. He's always there. He comes there, and he might not teach fully now, but what he does is that when he sees something, he'll just tell you guys are doing it wrong. You're going to do it 40 times. The chain punches, sometimes we do with 200, sometimes we do with 1,000, depending on whatever he tells us if they're not doing it right. But whatever he says, we follow. We never say anything like, see, we've done this already 100 times already, 400 times already. If he wants us to do it another 400 times, we just do it. But this is a man who basically who to this day lives and follows the philosophy of Bruce Lee. It's not about the art. When he first brings people to class, he used to interview everybody and ask us, is this the right fit, for you to be here? Because we don't teach you how to fight, we teach you how to become better human beings, better people. Because it's not about the fighting to learning how to fight. It's about the mental aspect of learning and becoming a better person, being the best you can be, and making yourself feel confident. So no matter what you are, how you feel, or anything that you're having a bad day or you think your life is bad, you should feel good about yourself and to be the best person you can be. And that's basically the message that Cedro Bruce gave to Sita Kaki, and Sita Kaki portrays and comes and he helps people around, and you see people all the time that come around and ask advice in this man here because of who he is. So we're going to bow out and thank you again for having us come here.